Hello everyone and welcome to another Starfield video. My name's Brian if you're new around here, and with news just absolutely breaking and with so much information coming out of this dev Q&A, I thought I'd sit down today and spend some time getting you caught up to speed if you haven't seen or are a part of the Q&A which is going on. Now, there is a lot of information in this video. We're going to spend some time. Abstract Concept over on Twitter has been cataloging. That's a bad, messed up dyslexic word that I just used, has been talking about this. So we're going to cover that. I'm going to include a link to the thread as well. So if you just want to go read and follow along with what's going on over on Twitter, you should have all that information in the description. But let's go ahead and dive in. Welcome in everybody, especially for those of you who are a part of the 65,729. Like this morning, it was literally in the 740s. So thank you all so much for taking a chance on my content. There's so much we want to talk about. And yes, this video is going to focus on the dev Q&A, but there was a question on my last video, and I thought I'd bring this up, or at least a comment on my last video, because I think this is an important kind of kicking off point. Corey says, I'm not sure just being a good game will be good enough though. Now, in context, I say review bombing. That's what that video was about. That's being plotted. It goes back and forth for the Xbox and PlayStation. I wish I could cure it. I wish I could wave a magic wand and say, be cool. But it's just not working out that way. Those magic powers that I wish I had aren't, being, reciprocated in the real world. But on that note, though, this is what that's in the context too. So anyway, if enough people make up fake reviews and pretend it sucks, perception of the game could be hurt. You still have dummies out there that think user scores matter and represent them as more meaningful than critic reviews, even though at this point everyone should know better. Yes, there's gonna always be dummies out there in the world, right? For one, I've talked about this a couple times on the channel, but to catch everybody up to speed, because we got a lot of new you guys here, I used to be a review snob. I felt like if a game was not a 9 or above, it wasn't worth my time. I was wrong, and I missed out on so many really good games that eventually I was able to go and educate myself on the mythology of review scores, right? The key aspect is that in this age, like we talk about a lot about the negativity within gaming and social media, right? Like that's a reality that we've all seen firsthand, but it's not the majority. And one of the great things about, and one of the great tools, and one of the things we have is, if it's a fun game and people are playing it, they're going to have a freaking amazing time, and that's going to be streamed, talked about, etc. So what ends up happening is that when if people want to go out and compromise and not be truthful, and they want to do so for internet clout, it's such a temporary thing. In the short term, yes, maybe somebody doesn't go and buy the game, but the other aspect of this, Game Pass solves so many problems because it removes the barrier for entry for so many people. This game being able to be played everywhere really is a highlighting example of like how exclusives, locking somebody down to a box. Imagine if this game wasn't on PC or cloud, or heck, your Stadia fridge, your Samsung TV. If you didn't have the ability to really truly play this game, like all of a sudden it does feel like you're being forced into a mold, and on console with 30 frames per second, then you're forced into that. So I applaud this. I applaud this play everywhere. I applaud this mindset that I'm glad that it's coming to PC. But that's the thing, a fun game, people play it, go nuts, have fun, and then anybody who's negatively reviewing it is only going to boost it up. It's free marketing each and every way. But anyway, that is something I just wanted to kind of put at the front of this video. You guys also crushed the likes on that. Easily getting over 200 likes on these Starfield videos, so let's keep it at that. Let's keep it a humble 200 as our like goal for this video. And let's rock and roll, because we got a lot of Q&A to discuss and cover here. Let's go into question number 1. Can we buy houses or property in the main cities? And Will says, yep, there is housing in different cities that the player can get. Some you have to purchase, and some are rewards for specific quests. Emil follows up, says, sure can. You could purchase the dwelling at all the major cities in the game, and there is at least one that you get specifically for completing something. Question number 2, if we get kids stuff trait, will our parents be generated based off of our character's look, or are there standard parents put in place? What benefits might there be? Will says, our programmers on our new face tech were excited to make a function that they could try and match your custom face and then create 2 parents. So they are based off of what your character looks like, though the specific math involved is a little bit beyond me. We had similar tech in our previous games. And then Emil goes on to confirm that that is still also the case. Violet asks, for those of us who have never played a Battlestar Galactica or a Bethesda Game Studios, my brain, I went to Battlestar Galactica, but that's because I'm dyslexic, BSG, sorry, and it's BGS. The game will be starting with Starfield. What information should we know, and will it make the experience more impactful right from the start? And they go on and say, well, you can start off with the game at any spot. They're making this game for anybody who wants to jump in. And they go on to continue and saying, for example, my latest character is working on self-named Mitch Jombesky. He's a husky, good-natured space trucker, and he'll do whatever it needs to defend himself. He'll shoot first. He's like Han Solo and a sweeter older brother. So you got a lot of flexibility there. Jumping into question number 4, how will the smuggling cargo system work? Can you hide it somewhere on the ship and sell it for more currency later? And they say certain items are considered contraband, and you will need to smuggle them past security ships, and that they are in orbit in all the major settlements. There's a specific item that that is considered contraband, meaning they're pretty much illegal everywhere. And yes, you can hide them, but you got to have special ship modules that you can purchase, so that way you can take advantage of all those. Now, the economy itself is fixed, and because of that fixed economy, like, it's not necessarily, you're going to make some money, but you're not breaking the game completely with that. The question is, will there be a jail system if we commit crimes? And they say yes. You can elect to go to jail, straight to jail, or you can pay a fine when you're arrested, or even resist arrest and try to escape. So the settle systems, they say, is more like Skyrim than Fallout 4's Commonwealth in that regard. Yeah, bunch of criminals out there. Number 6, will time pass when we're not in game? For example, will my trade routes, outposts, and mining operations continue to produce, or does that only occur when actively playing? And they say the sim will only run when you're actively playing. No sleeping on the job. So you got to play the game to have it progress. Oh, I clicked on something strange there. There we go. Boom, boom, boom. Question number 7, can you be a double agent in the game? For example, if you join the United Colonies, can you also join the Crimson Fleet and give the United Colonies information? And what factions have they feature if they do? And then Will says, all of the playable factions can be completed independently. But that's exactly what you do. Infiltrate the Crimson Fleet in the UC system def. It's specific to that quest line. The Crimson Fleet storyline does feature you being an undercover agent inside the fleet on behalf of the UC, a specific military branch of the United Colonies. But whether you betray the fleet or the UC SysDef is a choice that you will get to make. All right, talking about pacifist mode, depending on the traits selected during character creation, will it be possible to play through the game in a pacifist mode, i.e. without killing anyone? And they say they can't really guarantee that every mission can be completed in pacifist mode, but they do have a couple of systems that will help. So they've enabled the ability to talk about during the pre-production whether or not that they would fully support a non-lethal playthrough. We realize that for various reasons it wasn't totally feasible, but basically there are systems in place, speech challenge game, where you can persuade someone to not fight you. So not full pacifist mode, but definitely I guess you can go with it however you want in that case. All right, question number 9, what are the beliefs and basic history of the religions that we can join? Sanctum Universum, Enlightened, Great Serpent. They say, okay, so this one, yeah, existing IRL religions are a part of the Starfield universe, with folks of all religions and denominations out there. But we really don't focus in on them. Instead, we highlight 3 new ones specific to the game. So first we have the Sanctum Universum, is the only couple of decades old in the timeline, but has gained a lot of prominence. Sanctum Universum, the members called Universals, believe that God very much exists somewhere in the universe, and that a higher power is guiding us all. Specifically, they believe that humanity's ability to travel the universe and grab jump is God's way of saying, I'm out here, come find me. The Enlightened are in the atheistic group that focuses on the humanitarian and community work. They believe that life is something every person has to take responsibility for, so that if we want the world to be a better place, we have to do it ourselves. The Enlightened also, these folks are essentially organized atheists. They don't believe in any kind of higher power. Rather, they teach that the human beings have to take care of each other, and the practice that they preach through various community outreach programs. Now, moving on to question number 10, how many companions total will we be able to recruit? They say there are over 20 named characters who can join your crew. So over 20, that's going to be, I think, good enough for me on that. Then we've got question number 11. When we assign crew members to work at outposts, do we have to pay them salaries? They say you just paid them once. We actually experimented with paying them on a regular salary, but ultimately decided that just to have one cost up front. So that's going to help reduce the overall stress for continuing to try to raise that kind of money. Number 12, can the companies be able to level up their perks, and with their perks will they stack with ours? All crews start with a set of skills at specific ranks. They don't level up, but they do come in different ranks depending on the companion. So you might meet your character that is especially good at rifles, and you hire them and you watch your back. Or you might meet somebody, an astrodynamis expert, who will increase your ship's grav jump range when you're assigned to your ship. Number 13, what are your favorite parts of the game? And they say shipping it. But seriously, folks, we love finding content that we haven't yet seen and forgot about. Our games are so big that no one person is likely to have seen it all. And even after all that passes, the level it passes our levels of review. Now, you can see here there are clearly more questions. Last one that I'll cover here is number 14. What are the books and movies that big influences on some of the side quests? Now, I'm a history nerd, so I actually listen to a lot of the podcasts like Hardcore History and the History of Rome. Well, I'm a child of the late 70s, early 80s, and I have a very fond memory of the sci-fi of that time, so let me think. While our game is science fiction, I like how historians can tell you about human beings react to extreme circumstances like war, famine, and technological breakthroughs. And you can imagine how we would react to similar circumstances in a fictional setting, just at a grander scale. So Star Wars, Battlestar Galactica, bringing it back from earlier, Space, 1999, Buck Rogers, Battle Beyond the Stars, etc. And they continue on, obviously, with a giant list in this case. This is what I've got for you in this video without making it too much longer. As more and more information breaks, you might see another video from me. So if you guys enjoy the content, you like how I break it down, talk about it, etc., misstate things on accident, I'm going to highlight accident. I hope that you do take a chance on me and hit that subscribe button and that like button, as that it's a great way of helping your algorithm out in one way or another. But anyway, that's going to wrap it up for me, guys. Thank you so much for your time. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Hopefully I'll see you next time. But until then, take care.